Okay, so I would like to talk about the inner healing journey and the issues you might find yourself with, possible aspects that you'll find yourself going through and the issue of it. Because we live in a culture where everything is also being taught to lean onto things and rely on things outside of yourself, we have forgotten to rely on things inside of ourselves, right? And then what came was the inner healing journey is like a keloid. So a keloid is an accumulation of scar tissue. I remember also hearing when I was younger that a keloid is almost like, I think it's either your skin grows or heals from the outside in versus inside out. If I'm correct, I could stand to be corrected. So, and the thing is, when that happens, is even if there is healing, there's going to be certain things that are very visible in front of you. So, like someone can go into a healing journey, and because they have not integrated and merged their lifestyle, it's like taking this. What I wrote down, what came up in thought was quantum jumping or quantum leaping. This is a lot of this happening lately. So, you can heal instantly, right? The healer will create a space for you to get into that space where your heart, and your head, heart, and body are coherent in that space of healing. The problem comes in when your ego and your spirit aren't merged. The problem also comes in when your habits do not match this new version of yourself. That's what also happens with the healing. Like, you can't heal, and then you can't heal, like, let's say it's you, sorry if it's touching on a sensitive spot to someone, but you can't heal your alcohol addiction by surrounding yourself and drinking daily still. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. And that's what happens a lot is like, oh, I got this amazing feeling. I can have one day of not drinking, or I can have one day of not doing this thing. And then this thing is like a process, right? So you need to understand that every healing comes with the process, because there's a transformation, or there's an intention, there's the transformation, and now the most important part that we miss out is the integration stage. And because we move in this culture where things are instant, and then where we're trying to create this sense of efficiency, like it must be instant, it must be efficient. What is the most efficient way in which the deliverable or the product can be delivered to the client, which is absolutely beautiful. The thing is that healing, or the inner healing, there is very little satisfaction in the tangible things. Peace, you'll get it by going to an island, and after a while you're gonna go meh, you know, I need to do something else. Inner healing is an intangible thing, and that's why people struggle on the journey. A lot of things have this culture of instant, and within the instant culture, there's very little room of integration. Hence, I said it's so beautiful doing like quantum healing and quantum jumping, and quantum science. You know, like I said, the important thing is being able to integrate your ego with your spirit from what is being transformed to your lifestyle. Now that takes time, right? So if you are weaning yourself off, let's go back to alcohol. If it's a very sensitive point, it just came up. If there are obviously some times where you can immediately just cut it out, and then there are times where you slowly. If you're doing it for a week, then you go 6 days. Next week you go 5 days. That integration can also possibly have more longer it has a longer period of healing, where you're observing how you are changing. And that's the thing, because this is infinite, it's daily. And that's what the healing journey is. And that's where the struggle comes in, because it is a daily thing. And your intangible results is that feeling of inner peace. It's that feeling of being able to be home in your body, that feeling of being safe in your body, that feeling of not wanting. And tangible creates a culture of wanting something to define your sense of happiness, which is, I remember defining this, happiness is fleeting joy. It's fleeting. It's like, okay, I'm going to go to a dinner with friends. I'm going to feel good for a little while. I'm going to medicate myself with a particular medicine or drug, and I'm going to feel well for a little bit. Joy is just being there in the highs and the lows and not needing it to change, you know? And I don't know where this was going really, but I just wanted to mainly encourage you on your healing journey. If you're finding that it's challenging and you want to give up, your journey is going to require that you no longer do the same things the way you used to do. So that might mean that you're not going to hang around the same places. That also might mean that you're not going to have a lot of people. And with that, what I want to add is the fear of not wanting to be alone. And I remember an old friend telling me, where she was like, "What is your greatest fear?" And I was like, "Of being alone." And she goes, "Huh? Like, what do you mean of being alone? How are you fearing exactly what you are already experiencing?" And I was like, okay, when you put it like that, that doesn't sound like too great. And it's exactly that. It's that because you're fearing what you're already experiencing, because this is such an internal and perceived lonely journey, but you just alone working with your spirit team, with God, working with different people, but it's an intangible. And the intangible, you can't go to someone and go, "Look at me, this is what I've done," and for them to say congratulations. There's nothing for them to say congratulations except for you, because what comes from it is that you respond better, you react less, you're more observant, you allow yourself to breathe more, you know yourself to the point where you understand, do I participate? How do I participate? Do I participate or not into this conversation or in this scenario? You are more firm on your sense of authenticity. You're more authentic with yourself. Yeah, you're more authentic with yourself. And there's a lot more space and room to be comfortable with silence. There's a lot more room to breathe deeply in and out, and to not anticipate what could harm your sense of safety. So if you're going through the internal journey and you are struggling, I would just like to put it to you this way. It's an infinite thing. You're going to be doing this forever and ever and ever. And up until you come to this realization and you drop into that acceptance, then you won't need to rush the healing. You're going to allow full space for the healing, full integration from your transformation. And that is very much intangible because no one can take away the peace that comes from a deep inner healing. But if you're not integrating well, it's going to become like a keloid. Very visible that you're doing the healing work, but because you're afraid of feeling it, the healing is not coming as deeply as it can. Yeah, so take whatever you want to take from it, whatever resonates. And I hope you can continue on this healing journey and you can start to surround yourself with people, places, and things that support space for you to breathe and to no longer perform, to no longer have this role you need that you've been playing, whether you know it or you don't. Just space, just infinite space and time, collapsing time, not needing it to be in a certain way, not rushing it, enjoying the fruits of your labor, basically. And yeah, just hope you can take what resonates from that.